what does a top selling beat look like in terms for you, like total generated
So
sales?
so that beat made, I think it's coming up on 60,000.
60,000
Yeah,
on one beat.
one beat
This one we're about to
that
hear.
I made
It's
in
a
30
Kanye.
minutes
It's a
on
Kanye
my
West.
laptop. Yeah,
Kanye West beat, right?
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
still selling.
Still selling. My top one for sure. And
Sure.
it's I think it's a year old now. That's why I don't worry about how old the beat is, cause that one we just played is coming up on 3 years and it still sells.
Still sells.
Yeah.
And you said during this time where we're listening to this beat, you were like, I don't sell exclusives.
No, no, not anymore.
It's not worth it.
Not worth it. Now,
Unless
I'll
it's
make an exception if it's like a really
massive
old.
artist.
Not even no, of course not. Not that. If it's an old beat that makes no money, like
Right.
what am I losing?
Stars, the foundation, the precedence. We flying flags in every city, global residence. And we killing off the masters. Ghetto slave driving bastards, we making hits faster than you could think. We're on the brink of revolution. All my indie music makers, here's your restitution. We got the game in a chokehold. Not paying the creators is a no-no. I got the smoke road for all the fam bam.
What's up, everybody? It's A Batchon, the host of Pay the Creators here on BeatStars. Today, I got a special guest, another top dog seller on the platform, straight out of the ATX. Well, technically Georgetown, but we'll say you're part of the Austin family.
Same thing, yeah.
This guy has over 3 million plays on BeatStars. He's a monster. He's produced for Saba, Sauce Walker, Quinn NFN, and so much more. Texas's own. I'm so happy that you're here, bro.
Thank you.
My
Thank you
guy,
for having
Swisher
me.
Beats. Welcome to the podcast,
Thank
man.
you. Appreciate it. It's an honor. Thank you.
What's happening, man?
Shit, just chilling.
You know, we met for the first time,
Monday.
a couple days ago, right?
Yeah.
And I know you've always you lived in town for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and your beats have been trending all over the platform. And I hit up Mike Trampy. Shout out to Mike Trampy.
Yeah,
Mike.
shout out Mike. Mike is crazy.
Mike's the
He
guy.
made this happen.
He did, man. He's a huge fan of your music too. I'm sure he was rapping to your beats too. and I was like, man, reach out to Swisher, man. I need to holler at him. I need to talk to him. I'm a fan of his music. And we had another ATX, to me, legendary producer group, the Beat Demons, that were here like a week ago, and they told their story. Man, it's nice to see that Austin music, Austin
coming
music.
up. Coming up.
Austin musicians are kind of doing their thing. How does that feel, man, being from the city?
Crazy, man. Like with Austin, it's just there's so many artists, so it's hard to get out of Austin. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's great. It's an honor to be a part of the city.
Yeah, but you're not originally from here. You kind of someone that's been like a Rolling Stone, man. You've jumped around from place to place.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about your origin story, man. Where you're from, and like where kind of where, the whole kind of journey. Let me hear it.
So I was born in the UK in Bournemouth, and then I moved to Washington, and then lived there for 10 years, and then from Washington to Kansas. Hate Kansas. Never again. Sorry. Hate Kansas. Kansas to Austin, and I've lived here for I want to say like coming up on 11 years now.
Okay, let's rewind. He doesn't hate the people of Kansas.
No.
He hated living there.
Yeah,
he hated living
there. Bad experiences. Yeah. People were great.
Yeah, I mean, we all live in certain places that we like more than others, for sure. But I'm sure there was some experiences that you had there that even though maybe you didn't like it too much, there was something you took with you. No matter what.
Yeah.
You're a real musician, man. Like you're a real musician. You're not. And there's a lot of producers, and I think, a lot of producers get caught up in the digital only kind of like digital only way of making music,
which is fine. Yeah, 100%.
Totally good.
Yeah,
we know a lot of digital first musicians and EDM and hip hop that have become massive stars from the producer side. But you kind of you started your chops being a well, maybe you can explain like what.
Yeah.
What
So I started playing drums when I was around 6 years old. In my church, and started some little bands with friends, and then saxophone in middle school. and then piano, and then recently guitar. I picked up guitar, which is it's a work in progress, but we getting there for sure.
Playing the drums at church, that can be intimidating, especially at like a young age,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Even though like probably some of the songs are not too complicated. Like drums are
Yeah.
not too complicated,
Yeah.
probably, but
Yeah.
you still have to stay on point because you can't.
on point.
You have to perform. You can't mess up the performance at church,
Yep,
or then
everyone will hear it.
yeah, everyone will hear it
Yeah.
like, hey, we need a new drummer, right?
That's the worst. Yeah.
So when was your first like experience having to perform in front of people like that?
In church when I was
How old were you?
I was probably like I want to say 9 years old. I used to play in the youth
Right.
youth church
Mm-hmm.
with the band there. But yeah, that was really my first performance, and then my first main performance would have been in middle school with saxophone. Wearing the suit, playing in front of everyone. That was crazy.
Dude, I love the sax,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I love the sax.
You said your son played, right?
My son plays
Yeah.
the sax, yep. And I love
Bro.
when he goes in.
Tell him to stick with it, please.
Yeah, he will.
Please.
He will. He
That's-
will. This is his second year band, and he's getting pumped up to.
Yeah, I
go
wish
to
I wish
high
I
school.
didn't give it up.
Yeah.
Man.
It's crazy because I didn't think that there's that many intricate notes within the sax. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of like playing the keys in a sense. Like
Yeah,
you could do
yeah.
melody, you're running melodies with the sax, and I think it doesn't get appreciated enough in hip hop. I think not enough. It could be used more. I feel.
Yeah, it definitely could. I feel like it's definitely appreciated in soul music, but not hip hop. No,
And
Not
jazz,
yet.
jazz for sure.
jazz. Yeah.
Do you incorporate a lot of that learning, that education that you have with self-taught or train music into the creation of your beats?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Like I do a lot of piano work on every single one of my beats, and learning how to read music helped me with the music theory of creating beats digitally for sure.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
And do you feel like it's a superpower compared to like just being able to just make music in the software? Do you feel like you kind of have like an edge up a little bit?
No, not
because
at all.
because of being able to create original melodies and original samples yourself.
Not at all, because there's
No?
producers that don't even know how to play instruments that make their own melodies. So, I mean, I guess it's cool to be able to record live instruments, because a lot of beats don't, like you said, they don't have live instruments nowadays.
Yeah.
But
Do you put in a lot of live
yeah,
instrumentation into your beats?
yeah, bass,
Sweet.
piano, drums, all that. Yeah,
Makes a big difference. I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can hear the difference.
yeah, definitely.
And you could probably manipulate the sound as a sound designer better because you're the original source of that instrument into your software, so you can kind of EQ it better.
Yeah.
You can bend it, take it to different
Yeah.
places better.
The rhythms are better. Like I never quantize any of my digital work. Do you know what that means?
Yeah. Like then you want to make it sound too
It'll
perfect.
sound
like
too robotic-y.
too robotic.
So when you play a live instrument, it's got that swing. It's
Yes,
got that,
dude, yes.
that feel in it.
oh man, yes, because I can tell the difference. The average listener probably cannot.
Yeah.
But for me as a music fan, I can hear the difference.
Yeah.
I love the imperfections. I love that it's not perfectly quantized and in place.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Definitely.
That brings the uniqueness into the music.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sometimes start with melody? Start with drums? When you start making your music?
When I first started producing, it was always drums first. Now it's melodies, because the thing with drums, they're not appreciated anymore. It's more about the melodies that makes you stand out. So yeah, definitely melodies first, and then drums later on.
Cool. Do you sometimes switch it up? Do you kind of?
Yeah. If I find like a drum sound I like, or if I make a drum sound or build a beat around that,
Coming from the UK, I don't know how old were you when you first?
I was about 2 months, but I've been
Oh.
back so many times.
Been back so
All
many
my
times?
family's over there. Yeah, I would definitely say I'm more UK than American.
So okay, like tell me, like, what was your first introduction to hip hop, and just like where did you first kind of get introduced to just the music in general, just not making it, but
Yeah, so I used to listen to, when I was younger, I used to listen to just straight metal music.
Okay.
Yeah.
No judgment. No judgment.
No, you should. And then, the first artist I listened to was Kanye in like 2007, 2008.
But people have always said that there's metal and hip hop. There's some sort of in the arrangement. Sometimes I guess I don't know. Is there any similarities in the production or arrangement like metal and hip hop?
I don't know about that, but I've noticed a
'Cause the
lot of
vocal-
metal bands are turning to hip hop,
Turning to
trap
hip-hop.
music, because I guess it might be a dying genre or something. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Okay, so you got into metal first, and
Yeah, metal.
Then you got into Kanye.
Kanye
That's
changed
why-
my life.
That's why all your beats are
Yeah.
Kanye type beats right
Exactly,
now.
bro. I'm gonna work with him one day. It's gonna happen.
I can see that happening. I can definitely see that happening. I mean, he's probably already heard some of your music. That's for sure. I mean, it's
Bro,
you
stop.
No, I mean,
That'd be crazy.
I wouldn't.
That's a dream.
I wouldn't be
I always telling everyone, once I work with Kanye, I'm gonna stop producing. That's
No.
the peak. You
No.
can't do any better after that.
Can't stop. That's just the beginning.
True.
That opens
true,
the doors to working with everybody.
True.
you know.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. But you haven't been making beats for that long though.
No, 2015.
2015?
So what is that? 7 years?
7
Yeah,
years.
Yeah.
Okay. But you weren't like you were making beats, but you weren't putting them out just yet, right? In the beginning, in the beginning years, right? 2015.
Yeah, I was having my friends, because they weren't good enough to put out. So I was having my friends come in, rap on them and see what it would sound like with artists on them. And then I built kind of like a little reputation around my area, Leander. Yeah, and then I posted my first beat in 2018. And by my fourth beat, that's when I made my first sale on BeatStars. Crazy.
Fourth beat.
Fourth beat.
That's dope.
Fourth beat, yeah.
So 2018, you started uploading consistently. You were
Yeah.
making a lot of music before,
Yeah.
so you had you already had a catalog ready to go.
Thousands of beats, yeah.
Thousands of beats.
Yeah, but none of them were good enough to so the first 4 beats I did were trap beats. And then first 3 beats were trap beats, and then that fourth one was a Smino type beat. And not many people were making Smino type beats back then. So that's what set everything off was that beat. And then I just continued with that type of sound.
Yeah, I hear a lot of like similarities in your story compared to like some other top sellers on the platform,
Yeah.
where they really focus on a niche artist, a niche sound, and like a underserved like the Smino type beat. Probably not as many searches as or Drake one where there's so much competition.
Yeah.
But you were able to penetrate that Smino type beat search word on BeatStars and on YouTube,
Yep.
and get instantly recognized because your stuff was really quality and the competition wasn't very that high, probably.
Yeah.
Right. And did that happen on accident? Do you feel like that happened on accident? You just made a Smino type beat and then it just
Yeah, definitely on accident. Yeah,
happened on accident?
I didn't expect that to take off. And I think that beat got like 100,000 views in a week.
Crazy.
From a YouTube channel that had like 10 subscribers. And then talking about YouTube, I only use YouTube traffic to bring traffic to BeatStars. So that's what the plan was with that YouTube, was to bring that traffic, and it worked.
So you drove all of that activity and engagement to your store, to your website on
yeah.
BeatStars, and
Yep.
then translated that into sales.
Yep.
That first beat that got the 100,000 plays, did it generate more than just one sale? Did that take off a little bit?
Yeah, it made quite a bit of sales. So after that fourth beat, every beat I posted after made minimum 2 sales, 3 sales.
Right.
Which
But it was those-
at the start that was mad.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
In the beginning, those are
Yeah.
your first supporters, your first believers in what you're doing.
Yep.
And what did those sales do for you in terms of like confidence? Did you start
I
like
quit my job a week after.
after the
Yeah.
one sale?
And no, Yeah, after that fourth beat, yeah.
You're like, fuck it, I'm rich.
Yeah. No, not that, but I wanted to focus on that for sure. I worked at In-N-Out over here on the corner, and that was not it at all.
You couldn't do it no more.
Couldn't do it, and I'm glad I quit that, because look where I'm at now. I'm sitting with
In-N-Out got some good burgers though, man.
You think so?
Yeah,
You have
pretty
Pete
good.
Terry's?
Yeah, Pete Terry's good too. It's all good.
I think Pete Terry's is best.
Best?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Burgers are good.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with it.
Can't go wrong.
Unless it's McDonald's. Eat some cardboard.
Yeah, you were working for the enemy at In-N-Out. You were working for the enemy.
Yep.
You're a Pete Terry's guy all the way.
All the way. Best burgers.
You were saying that, okay, you started making beats, had some friends kind of get on them or
Mm-hmm.
like work on them and freestyle with them. Did you kind of invite them into that process? How did you find collaborators at that time? Like, how did you find, like, is it just your close friends that were already rapping, or you
Just friends from school.
friends from school?
Got a little reputation at school. Everyone was hitting me up for beats, but of course no one wanted to pay for
Yeah, of
the
course,
beats.
high schoolers.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's fine. Wanted recording, and I'd bring them to my parents' house, record them, and yeah.
Dope. Did
Yeah.
you guys like work on a bunch of music? Did you get some projects out with
Yeah,
some
yeah.
of these guys?
Yeah, we one of my best friends actually. We had a little album out. We always listen back to it and just laugh
No.
because it's so bad. It's so bad. But
But-
I'll never delete it because that's a memory,
For sure.
on SoundCloud. Yeah,
Yeah, that stuff lives forever.
Yeah.
And it's a good like reminder of where you were,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you came from.
yeah,
And
definitely.
where you are now.
definitely.
Even we were talking about some of your music and you're like, really? You think my mixes are good? You think like you were already it seems like you're someone that's always critical of your music. You're
Yeah.
always critical
Yeah.
of your sound. You're always
Yeah.
critical of even your top selling stuff, your biggest stuff. You feel like you can always level up. Did you always have that kind of like mentality, like never satisfied, I need to get better, never
Yeah.
satisfied, I need to get better?
Yeah, my goal is to make a better beat than my last beat, and I've always been like that, and I've always criticized, my mixes, my beats. I always find something wrong with it. You wouldn't hear it, but I would, But yeah, it's
Call that a producer's ear.
exactly
right?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm cursed with that too, unfortunately.
yeah, it
I will-
sucks.
Yeah,
It sucks.
I'm
It's the
cursed with that
worst.
too. I'll hear something and I'll be like, oh God, why is this mixed this way?
Do you think like these big artists they hear that too?
No, I don't think a lot of artists hear it. I don't think a lot of artists hear it. I think not everyone has that producer's ear.
Yeah,
I think you really have to have a technical kind of mind to appreciate,
Yeah.
the details, of a piece of music, a composition,
yeah,
And I think a lot of artists don't focus on that, and I think they should though.
yeah.
I think they should
they
because
should,
I think artists. When I was making music, I was always part of the process. Man, I was always part of the mixing process of the beat. I was always part of the arrangement. I was always part of like, I want to drop this, put this. Like I was also kind of like an executive producer of my own music too. And when I wasn't involved prior, and I left the music to be handled by someone else's vision, it never matched what I was looking for. So
Yeah.
I had to learn, and I had to get technical. I had to learn how to use Pro Tools. I had to learn how to arrange. I had to do all those things, and it was important. It was important for me as an artist, I think, and I think it's
Yeah.
important for all artists to go through that because you have a different appreciation of your work when it's done.
I feel like that's the difference between an artist and an entertainer. Is the artist is, like you said, big into their own art and stuff.
Right. And during this process, you got all these artists and rappers coming to your house
Yeah.
making music. What did your family think about this process while you were doing this in high school?
Surprisingly, they were really supportive.
Yeah?
They'd hear the artist, screaming on the mic in my closet, and my mom would bring up like some snacks or something, some drinks. Yeah, they've been really supportive since the start. It's a blessing for sure.
Dope. So they never like, gave you a hard time about kind of like the direction of your career. I mean, they let
No.
you play music and learn instruments
Yeah,
at a young
yeah.
age. They kind of were always
Yeah.
supportive of your music.
Yeah, my mom is she's been into music her whole life too. She great pianist ever since she was little. Yeah,
Dope.
definitely been supportive.
like, would you say that she was like an influence in your life? That someone at the house she would play and you be inspired by it?
Of course, yeah,
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 yeah.
of course, yeah,
I mean, those early experiences, like a lot of people don't, take that into account. Just
Yeah.
the exposure of the art, the exposure of what something,
Yeah.
a piece of art, how beautiful it could be, and just them, like my kids too. Like I'll be in my room recording and rapping, and they're coming in like critiquing. They like, no, Dad, that line sucks. No, do this,
Yeah.
do this better, do this better. And now I'll catch them upstairs making beats and rapping on,
That's
or
sick.
singing,
That's-
or
that's
singing
so
on,
dope.
or singing and writing.
that's awesome. I bet bro. That's crazy.
It's fun, man.
That's how I want my kids to be too.
Yeah, I guess it's just leading by example, and,
Yeah.
and having your mom be passionate about music. It must be for her. Did she pursue it in a like big way, or was it really
No,
just
she-
for her development, her healing, her therapy of like making music for herself?
Yeah, definitely that. And she was a pianist in the church as well.
Cool.
Yeah, I played drums with her too in the
Dope.
church. Yeah,
So you guys are a family
yeah,
band.
yeah, little band.
Dope.
yeah,
That's great, man. It's great to have early support.
Yep.
Early support. Not a lot of people do. Not a lot of people do. It was for me, man. It was frowned upon. Coming from a Middle Eastern community, and what? This is not making no money. You're wasting your time. Go to college. What's wrong with you? Go get an education. Go do this. Go do that. But I'm like, that's not what I love. That's not what I love to do.
yeah,
It's this music thing. And so it took me a while to overcome and break through.
yeah,
So it's remember those blessings,
Yeah.
remember those little roadblocks that you didn't have to go through. That
Right.
so many other people get so much judgment because there's so much uncertainty about the music industry. Not everyone
Yeah.
knows there's opportunity. And we were just sitting here, talking to entertainment lawyer Carl Folks
Mm-hmm.
about, today anyone can become an entrepreneur. Like in today's world, anyone can become an entrepreneur. You can like really pursue entrepreneurship, and your creations can be the products.
yeah,
And for your generation, that's all you guys know.
yeah.
That's all you guys know,
Yeah.
right?
And-
How like entrepreneurship though, catching the entrepreneurship bug is something not a lot of people are exposed to as well too. So was there anybody in your life that kind of pushed you towards independent entrepreneurship or taught you that? Like
Yeah,
go-
my parents both have owned businesses their whole life. My mom is a realtor, and she owns her own realtor company in Austin.
Dope.
And then my dad, he has his own wedding business as well. And I definitely learned my business smarts from them. Yeah, definitely.
So you quit your job,
Yeah.
you go all in,
Yep.
putting the pressure of the world on yourself
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
to try to make it, to
Yeah.
try to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But during this time, did you go to college? Did you
Yeah.
out of high school? Did you go into getting an education somewhere?
Yeah, so I went to ACC for 2 out of the 4 years for audio engineering and music business. And yeah, I learned a lot from the music business side. I had my teacher help me write my contracts that I still use today, the leases. But as far as the audio engineering side, it didn't work out. And then the reason I only did 2 years is because I was starting to make enough money for me to not have to worry about that, because I was already, pursuing the career that I wanted.
Got it. So while you're at school, you're already uploading to BeatStars,
Yeah,
setting
yeah.
up your business,
Yep.
and you're making money, and you're like,
Mhm.
okay, maybe I don't need to complete these 2 years. Let me
Yep.
let me go in on the business
Yep.
part of it.
Yep.
That's a big decision. That's a big decision because, social stereotypes of having, having a formal education and degree, and I don't, I barely have a high school diploma, right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, it's not for everybody, but not to say that you probably didn't get a lot of great information and experiences. You said you
Yeah.
met a teacher that helped you with your license agreements. She probably didn't even have to do that for you, right? So
Nope.
you had met someone that kind of taught you some of the music business, and you kind of learned some of the ins and outs. Did you have any other mentors in your life like that, or someone in your life that kind of helped make the road a little bit easier for you in terms of understanding the landscape?
No, really, it was just that one teacher.
Yeah.
Everything else.
Shout out. What's her name? Shout
Oh,
out.
bro, I wish I looked. I tried to look up her name yesterday.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it. I don't know if she works anymore.
Right.
But yeah, just that one teacher. Like,
Cool.
you
She's
know,
looking out.
Yeah,
It's dope.
man.
But you were saying when we met up the other day, you were saying that the school really was not teaching
Yeah,
music business entrepreneurship, like building your own business, like digital business, your own
Yeah.
digital
Yeah.
product business.
yeah,
And it seems like a lot of the music schools are doing this.
yeah.
They're not
They're stuck in a box.
they're not
Yeah,
evolving into to how creators create today and
Mm-hmm.
how those products are made and commercialized today. So, but it bothers me. I think we as a company probably need to get more involved with the music schools
Yeah.
and educate them. So,
Yeah.
not because of increasing business on BeatStars, but because you're limiting these kids' dreams.
yeah,
And they're teaching them just to be a behind the scenes audio engineer or music
Yeah,
producer.
yeah,
Like, like you just sit behind the scenes. You can't step out and build something.
it's sad. Yeah, there was a lot of kids in there that only that they were told they could only make rock music.
Yeah.
Hip hop is not gonna be anything, and it's just they followed that, and it's sad.
At school.
Yeah, at school,
Damn.
it's sad. Yeah,
Usually, you're supposed to think of, higher education as being a place where you're critically thinking and you're thinking outside the box.
yeah,
But instead, some schools are
keeping you in that box.
putting kids in the box.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, that's crazy. That bothers me.
Yeah,
I think we got to do something about it at some point.
Yeah.
And sharing this story, sharing your story, saying that, hey, I've gone the traditional route of school, and they're pushing their agendas of like, oh, go be an engineer and move to LA or move to New York. Those are the only two,
Yeah.
or Nashville,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like that's all you can go do, and you'll be an engineer at this studio, and you'll intern there, and you'll work your way
yeah.
up.
Oh, bro,
You'll slave away for 10 years
Don't-
before you
don't even bring up the internships they were putting people in.
Yeah. It sucks, man.
Sucks.
It sucks. And I think that entrepreneurship is the way to go, no matter what.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
experiencing the ups and downs of it,
Mhm.
learning, the ins and outs, and being, agile, and just being able to react and pivot when you need to pivot, and that's part of life. Like we're always having to pivot. We're always having to move and shake and change things. Not everything stays constant, right? And if we're always saying this is the path and you have to go on that path and that's the only path, but you're not teaching me about all the roadblocks or about the opportunities outside of that path, it becomes a problem, man. So I would love, like, for you, what does independence like we just finished, I don't know if we're finished with this pandemic. We're still, I
Yeah.
guess we're still going
Yeah,
through it, right? But a lot of people lost their jobs.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't have any work, and the economy suffered, right? And can you talk a little bit about your kind of like pandemic business
yeah.
experience and like how did it go for you during that time?
So at the start of the pandemic, I think just like most people, we didn't know what was going to happen. And I was getting ready to look for a job. But the pandemic was one of the most what's the word, profitable year because PPP loans, people at home, they're stuck at home. They want something to do. They're being more creative.
Sure.
Getting back to their roots. For sure. So I found that the pandemic was one of my top years for sure, and that was so unexpected.
Yeah, being at home, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and just doing your business from the house digitally and
Yeah.
not having to worry about what happens outside in the with all the
Yeah.
other industries that were collapsing
I
around
kind of liked it at the beginning. Everyone
We were all working.
working in the same boat. No one outside. It was nice at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We were pushing too, and we were growing, and we were like just trying to expand. We're like, oh, we're all at the house. I mean, we're a remote first company anyway, but still, it was like we didn't have to do much adjusting, and it was like you said, everyone was forced to grow. Everyone was forced to grow. Everyone had to kind of, look at their existence like, yo, is this the end? What are we doing? I want to do what I want to do. I want to pursue those dreams. And I think a lot of people did, man. And I'm happy. And I'm happy for those stories that came out positively, but also, still concerned about, all the effects of the pandemic economically on people's lives. And, so it's still a scary time. And I think may take a while for the world to recover, for the world to recover. But, I'm still hopeful about the future.
Definitely.
And I think music is in our DNA, and it won't, no matter what, we're always going to end up making it, and we have to make it. It's part of who we are.
It'll never go away, never die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, your business took off during the pandemic mostly, right? And it started growing during the pandemic year over year.
Yep.
Things are still going great.
Mm-hmm.
And you start having these like anomaly moments with your music where certain beats just start going crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Certain beats just start,
out of nowhere,
top the charts on BeatStars, and they don't leave.
Mm-hmm.
One interesting story you told me was that usually you hear the story of like a beat going viral on YouTube,
mm-hmm.
and then that having translate to sales on BeatStars.
Yeah.
But you had a beat.
Opposite, yeah.
You had some beats that kind of did the opposite effect.
Yeah. So that Kanye beat did, I think it's like 550 right now, 550K, but
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube 10K. Like, so all that traffic came from BeatStars, not YouTube.
Yeah.
BeatStars. And then there's been quite a few beats like that.
Yeah, so the marketplace has been really been like impacting
Mm-hmm.
your sales,
Yeah.
and it's self-sustaining, and so you're seeing that you're not having to rely anymore on outside third-party promotional platforms like YouTube and SoundCloud or Instagram to build a business. Now you're like, I'm building it myself on your own platform, really on your own pro page probably, and on the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
So. Really cool, interesting story to see the transformation in that. And I'm seeing it more and more often because, we see the numbers and we see that the BeatStars marketplace is, generating more and more revenue year over year and is, dominating in terms of sales compared to YouTube. So, because YouTube, for me, like, let's talk about YouTube a little bit.
Yeah.
It's changing a lot.
Yeah.
And producers have heavily kind of like resorted to YouTube as a promotional outlet to get their music heard.
Yeah.
And it's been inconsistent.
Especially nowadays.
Especially now, right?
I've talked to multiple producers, and all our videos are down.
Everybody.
I don't know what's going on with it, but yeah.
I think they change the algorithm all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They change the algorithm all the time. And I think they are, they're a video platform,
mm-hmm.
right? They're a video platform. So beats and just audio only videos are, probably not high on the priority list of their business in terms of revenue, right?
Yeah.
They're making more money off of
gaming and
reaction and these like
reality
unboxings,
shows,
reality, like, where people's faces and these, these the video content where human beings are the like the focal point. And so producers are probably starting to see it take big hits because it's not on the platform's priority list. It's not a platform it's not a marketplace. It's not a place for beats. It's not a place to sell beats. And I knew this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why kind of we went on our path to, go heavy on building the marketplace and the mobile apps and, build that audience of artists, of millions and millions of artists that come on the platform because you guys need to have a home destination.
Yeah. No, that's And with YouTube, the copyrights, it's terrible.
Mm-hmm. Even on your own music.
Yeah, on your own music.
Yeah.
I'll make a beat and then someone else will copyright it because I don't know how.
Yeah. Well, the artists are probably taking your beats.
Oh, of course.
Or buying them or licensing them.
Yeah.
And then they're going to distribution. And then, distribution.
Copywriting,
Yeah. Throws it in the system. And then the YouTube system only understands one master copy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know that there's multiple masters for this beat. They don't know that. And they don't know who's the original master owner of the beat, right?
Yeah.
And So what you have to do to combat that is you got to start distributing every single one of your beats to all the services.
Yeah, through BeatStars. Yeah.
Or whoever. It doesn't matter.
No, BeatStars is the best.
Okay,
one to
we can
it
do
through
it.
for sure.
You can
Yeah.
do it on
Yeah,
BeatStars, and you get your ISRC code, and then you have now that that home address for your beat, right? It has a home, it's got an identity now, and you're the original copyright owner because you put it in first, and so
Right.
now anyone else that infringes on your copyright that comes after, you're gonna have to approve them. You're gonna have to approve them. So you got to start doing that. You got to start doing that for sure.
Definitely.
You targeted all of these kind of like lower hanging fruit keywords of Smino type beat or any other type type beats that maybe at first it was an accident, but now how are you taking that information and adjusting how you market your music now with the type beat stuff? Are you still trying to find those
Yeah.
niche kind of artists?
Yeah, definitely finding artists that are on the come up that there's not many type beats for, and then also trying to stay away from things that are oversaturated. So when an artist will drop a song or an album, I'll drop a beat with it that sounds like that song, and I found that to be the best way to upload beats.
That's dope. That's dope. Being online and putting your stuff online, you're having to like give away your art's available. It's available for download.
Yeah.
Anybody could take it, right? So when this, in this online world, the consumption being so heavy, you're probably, you don't even know exactly how many people are really using your
Yeah.
beats and
Oh,
what
no,
type
not
of
at all.
artists. So it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to understand. It could be like some big songs that have been made from some of your beats, and I'm sure some of that has happened. Has there been any like songs that have gone crazy viral that from some of your beats that you have put up online?
Yeah, so I had a beat that has like 2.5 million views now on YouTube. And unfortunately two artists took that beat and made a song, and one of the song has 12 million views on YouTube. And that's a work in progress. But yeah, the best way I found who's used my beats is the beat ID. So I had one beat that had 5,000 copies, and I found out that the Broncos used
Maybe for some people that don't know what Beat ID is,
Yeah.
what explain to them a little bit.
Beat ID is a BeatStar service that searches the web, right, for songs or commercials, whatever has used your beat, and it tracks it down and tells you exactly what it's been used in, how long it's been used in it, and yeah, I found 5,000 copies with one beat.
Crazy.
And yeah, like I said, I found out the Broncos used it for a commercial, and that was crazy.
The Denver Broncos
Denver Broncos, crazy.
for a TV commercial.
Yeah, TV commercial for ESPN. Yeah,
That's crazy.
mad.
And you said you went back and you found that the Denver Broncos actually went on your store.
Yeah,
and
they actually bought a lease and everything, which I'm very, very grateful for.
Shout out to the Broncos, man.
Shout out the Broncos for doing things right. Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see that people are valuing your guys' music outside of just recording artists. There's
Yeah.
brands that say, okay, this is a hot ass beat. We need to use it for a commercial.
Yeah. Definitely didn't. I never thought about doing that outside of artists working with commercials and syncs. Yeah.
Cool. Who are some other artists and songs that you've kind of like that are some pretty prominent notable names that you worked with?
So I worked with Saba, Mick Jenkins. I have a song with him that I'm sitting on for the moment. Sauce Walka, Quinn NFN, who's in Austin, and
Yes, sir.
he's one of my favorite artists here.
Have you ever collaborated in person with Quinn?
I did at the Beat Kitchen. I don't know if he remembers me because I kind of just but
Played your role in the background.
Play my role. The producer. They sit on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So Quinn's dope.
Quinn is dope.
And Sauce Walker's he's from Houston, right?
Houston,
he's
yeah.
from Texas. He's
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Houston, and he's on his come up too.
Mm-hmm.
did those songs drop on any projects that they put out yet, or are they still unreleased?
So I have two. I have one song with Quinn that's out. It was a feature, and then I have two with Quinn that are coming out soon. And then the Sauce Walker one, was that dropped as well.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. So, I mean, it seems like you're just getting started a little bit, man.
Yeah. Definitely.
Just getting started.
More to come for
what,
sure.
What are some, like, next step goals, aspirations that,
I want to drop. My main goal for next year is dropping my first producer album with a bunch of artists. I got Saba, Mick Jenkins, and a bunch of other artists that I'm gonna have on it. That's what I'm gonna focus on for sure, mainly. And then just getting more placements, growing my store. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So we have this segment called Beat Breakdown or Music Breakdown or whatever. We don't know what we're calling it yet, but where we listen to a couple songs, either a song or a beat notable in your catalog, and and we kind of like react to them and break them down. And you can talk a little bit about them. So, all right, cool. So we're gonna get into a track produced by Swisher Beats by an artist named CRO, and the song is called Posea de la Oscuridad, I think. We're going to get it right into it, then we'll go react to it. Go ahead, Dante, let's play it. When did this beat come out?
This beat came out coming up on 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Is it still available in your store?
Of course. Never sell the exclusive.
Woo!
You like that? Yeah.
That bass.
Yeah.
That's that real bass.
Yeah.
Fire. Woo! Is that you on the sax too?
No, no, I wish.
Ojalá pudiera darte todas mis poesías, para que sientas el amor dentro de mi alma fría, para que sientas el temor que recorre mis vías. No sé si
how long has this been out for?
I think 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
You said it's got like
11 million on YouTube.
On YouTube, what about Spotify?
I'm not sure.
Escapar de mi sufrimiento hacia un mejor lugar, tan perdido en lo más puro de la oscuridad, tan respetado por la calle, tengo su lealtad.
I wonder where he's from. From Mexico, you think? Argentina.
Yeah.
Muero de día, de noche salgo por licor.
Smooth.
Desordenando piezas, sé cómo me luco yo. Fabricando todos los estilos, avanzo despacio. Sabemos bien que desde arriba no vigila Dios. Me quema tanto este dolor.
I wish I knew what he was saying.
When you made this, like, what mood were you in, man? Like,
it was one of those times where you
kind of down a little bit.
No. This is one where I started with the drums actually, and then built it because the drums are so hard, and then built the beat around it.
Una de tantas noches que estoy a la espera, mirar hacia la luna y ver que nadie llega. Me quema tanto este dolor, me quema tanto toda esta vida pasajera. Es mi poesía oscura, fría y callejera, para que nunca olvides lo que me
Simple,
revela.
you know?
Simple. Made that beat in 30 minutes. I think there's only 3.
I love this little.
Yeah, this outro.
Just let it.
That bass.
Nice, man.
Thank you.
Soothing.
Thank you.
I want to hear just that beat alone too. But I mean,
might-
the song's dope. The song's dope.
You might have to do something on it.
Yeah, I might have to jump on that one
Yeah.
too, man. All right, so this next track, I think, is your top-selling beat ever, maybe ever, or
Yeah.
one of your top-selling beats ever.
Yeah.
A lot of people get, like, they have assumptions that beats like one beat can't generate a lot of money anymore, and people think, oh, you're selling your beats for $25 on BeatStars, but they think that you're just making $25 off of that one beat.
No.
I think you need to educate people. Like,
Yeah.
what does a top-selling beat look like in terms for you, like total sales, possibly, like total generated sales?
So that beat made, I think it's coming up on 60,000.
60,000.
Yeah.
On one beat.
One beat
This one we're about to
that
hear.
I made in
it's a
30
Kanye,
minutes.
It's a
on
Kanye
my
West,
laptop,
Kanye
yeah.
West beat, right?
Yeah. Um,
And
yeah,
it's still selling.
still selling. My top one for sure. And
Sure.
it's I think it's a year old now. So that's why I don't worry about how old a beat is, because that one we just played is coming up on 3 years and it still sells.
Still sells.
Yeah.
And you said during this time where we're listening to this beat, you were like, I don't sell exclusives.
No, not anymore.
It's not worth it.
Not worth it. Now,
Unless
I'll
it's
make an exception if it's like a really
massive
old
artist.
that, or not even no, of course not that. If it's an old beat that makes no money, like
Right.
what am I losing?
Right. It kind of has
Yeah,
declined in
yeah,
sales, and
yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
doing anything
Yeah, but-
consistently. So you'll sell it.
But other than that, no.
Do you ever look at the total sales of a beat before you come up with an exclusive price? You're like, okay, if I made 60,000 on this
Yeah.
in 1 year, I'm probably going to end up making over 100 probably over the lifetime of it. So you probably
would never sell that one.
that one you can't sell. That one's like a collectible.
Exactly, NFT.
It's like, it's like an NFT. Just
Yeah.
go
Nah,
keep generating revenue for you.
Yeah, if someone does make an offer through BeatStars, I'll go and look and see, how many sales it has, and it's usually not worth it.
Right.
Not worth
Right.
it.
All right, let's get into this next beat. It's a Kanye West type beat. It's one of my favorite beats ever on
Yeah.
BeatStars.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Go ahead, Dante. Oh man.
I love gospel choirs, bro.
Yeah, this sample's interesting.
I love it.
Yeah, now I can see coming from the church,
Yeah, yeah,
bringing in that gospel music. So emotional
it is. It is.
and then triumphant, right?
Bro, I still get hype over hearing this.
Like, oh, that "Oh Lord" sample.
It's hard to find a gospel choir like this too.
God, the drums. So that's also a vocal chant too. That's a
Yeah, saying
It's a gospel,
Lord
choir?
knows. Yeah, Lord knows.
wow.
And then a bunch of little instruments that I added around it.
Yo, man, this beat is so
Texture.
fire, dog.
Thank you, bro.
It's one of my favorite beats
Thank
ever
you.
on the platform. It's
That means
honestly
a lot.
like, really like one of the main reasons why I needed you on this podcast, because this is a special beat.
Thank you, bro. That means a lot, for real.
And you're like, knowing that it's generated over $60,000, knowing that so many people have probably rapped on it
Yeah,
and jumped on it, meaning that it's touched so many other people's lives.
yeah,
You know, I wrote something to this.
yeah. Let's hear it.
Do you mind if I?
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear
Dante,
it.
can we rewind and start it back?
Got to.
All right, so I wrote something to this. Don't judge me, man. I'm a retired
Let's hear it.
old rapper,
Let's hear it.
but I feel like this could be like the Pay the
Yeah.
Creator's
Yeah.
theme song.
Oh. that's an honor.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Swisher Beats.
That's the
Hey,
new tag.
Batchon.
That's the new tag.
It's our moment of jubilation right here. Yo, yeah, baby, I'm back better than ever. Total reconstruction and the shot looks wetter than it's ever been. I'm him, subhanallah, heaven sent. Uncle Abe, the OG, the veteran. Blessing all my people is the kind of shit I revel in. Why they tell me I would never win, Severin. These haters' heads is so fucking pleasuring. I flipped the whole game up and gave it medicine. BeatStars, the foundation, the precedence. We flying flags in every city, global residents. And we killing off the masters. Yeah, those slave driving bastards. We making hits faster than you could think. We're on the brink of revolution. All my indie music makers, here's your restitution. We got the game in a chokehold. Not paying the creators is a no-no. I got the smoke road for all the fam bam. This that holy water, we drinking Zam Zam. The mission deeper for seekers of the whole truth. I've been to death and back. They should have told you. Built different, living off the interest. Pinning dreams down while you pinning hoes on Pinterest.
Bro, what?
Pinning dreams down while you pinning hoes on Pinterest.
All right, I'm removing that beat. That's yours. That's yours.
No, man.
That's
We got to
yours.
keep that one out for the people.
Damn, bro.
On God, we got the squad.
Keep going.
Beat stars. Thank you, Dante. You can fade that out.
That was hard.
Yo, bro, I had to do something on
That
that
was
one.
hard.
I appreciate you, making that beat so I can express myself. And
That
I know
was hard.
thanks, man.
Damn, we gotta record that.
I gotta do a whole track to that. I think.
got to. Yeah, bro. What?
It brings out so much emotion and energy, man.
Yeah.
Even in I'm sure it does that for
Even making it, yeah.
even making it for you. You probably thought that someone's gonna spaz out.
It's one of the beats where it's one of those. When I make a beat, I have to listen to it in the car. I gotta listen to it multiple times. This, I made it, uploaded it because I just knew it was the one.
Boom, boom.
Crazy.
Emotion.
Yeah.
Emotion. Yo, it's a pleasure talking to you, my brother, man. It's been
Pleasure.
such a great time meeting you, even prior to the pod, having you here, learning about your story, just hearing about your hustle, your grind, and your ambitions and dreams, bro. I'm so proud of you. You just one of those young gunners that
Thank you.
make Austin proud, BeatStars proud, and I can't wait to see the moment that you get that Kanye placement. That's gonna happen.
Bro,
That's gonna
thank
happen
you.
one day.
It will.
Tell us a little bit, just like where we can find you, where the people can find you on social media, on BeatStars.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
My BeatStars is Young Swisher Music. My Instagram is Swisher Beats now. YouTube Young Swisher Beats, and yeah, that's it.
Yo, man, any other last words for the people?
Man, all I gotta say is we gotta record that song. That's it.
Swisher Beats, appreciate you,
Thank
man.
you, man.
Thank you for coming to the podcast,
It's an
brother.
honor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank
You're making
you.
us proud, man.
We got the game in a chokehold. Not paying the creators is a no-no.